I wonder how should I wait to stop playing. I gotta make this money by tomorrow.
Is it just me, or is your mind always racing with thoughts? And it can get so overwhelming. My life is not where I want it to be right now, and I wonder if being in my head and overthinking is one of the causes for this. I'm challenging myself to stop thinking for 5 days. I'm gonna see if this can actually help me solve my problems and change my life, or is trying not to think gonna make me go crazy? I'm gonna be a bit vulnerable with you guys right now. I haven't been as productive as I would like. I'm transitioning out of living with my mother. So right now is really the time for me to lock in. After analyzing myself and really thinking about the situation, I realized that my thoughts are the focal point. I've always been a daydreamer. I feel like daydreaming is taking away from me actually putting in the effort to achieve what it is that I desire and get the life that I'm dreaming of. My thoughts also create some anxiety for me because starting when I was younger, I was often judged or criticized for my actions or what I would say. So as an adult, I haven't quite healed that fully, and I do have a lot of anxiety about how I'm being perceived. I think the one way to work on that is to just stop thinking. Do my best to stop thinking. I know that, it's impossible to fully stop, but I want to stop myself from living in my head and really be present. So we'll see if this works. We'll see what the results are. Today is day one of Operation Stop Thinking. I wasn't really sure what to expect today, but I was definitely prepared to have a mental battle with myself. My game plan was to get up and do my task without giving myself idle time in between. From what I've observed about myself, I think the most in my idle moments. I also knew from just what I learned about meditation that in order for me to stop thinking, I just had to catch myself in the moments when I was thinking and bring myself back to reality by hearing the sounds or paying attention to my breathing. All throughout my morning routine, as I did my task, I reminded myself to not think and pay attention, not think and be present. Today is my first day of actively doing my best not to think. And I love it so far, actually. I've been more productive today, more focused. This morning I went on a walk, I worked out, and every time I would start to think, I would remind myself to stop and just look at nature, listen to the different sounds. Recently, I learned that sounds can increase your vibration. Sounds that are natural can boost your vibration. Like all sounds don't boost your vibration, but listen. And every time I just stop and allow myself to just listen and be present, my vibration instantly gets lifted because I'm tuning into the sounds, I'm tuning into the trees, I'm admiring the beauty, like I'm giving myself the moment to enjoy my surroundings and allow that to uplift my spirit and heal me. I've just had to stop myself quite a bit, and that's the most important part, to just catch yourself, right? So every time I catch myself, I remind myself to be present. I'm going to be actively doing that on my walk today with Mikey. Hey guys, so I have been just out here meditating for a bit. I felt like my day has just been one long meditation in a sense, but I'm liking it actually. I've been thinking, like, a lot of thoughts have been coming up, which of course that's gonna happen. I'm interested to see if I have less thoughts by the end of this week. I was paying attention to myself, and every time I would start thinking, and I'm kind of sleepy too, every time I would start thinking, I realized I would start dozing off as I was meditating. But then as I was meditating and I was being present, I was listening, I was paying attention to my breath or the wind, whatever, I would be alert and be like awake, but every time I would go down my thought spiral, I would begin to fall asleep, which I think is very interesting. I just noticed that as I was sitting here meditating. Sometimes I even catch myself thinking about the fact that I don't want to think. I would think about not thinking, which I thought was funny, and then I would have to stop myself from doing that. So far, today has been great. It has been productive. I have been more in the moment, more present. My vibe definitely feels higher. The one thing though, I'll talk about this later. All right, guys, it is the end of the day. I'm about to head to bed, but I have had a great day so far. I actually didn't have as much of a hard time stopping myself from thinking as I thought I would have. It was actually pretty easy in a sense. Good morning, guys. I mean, I've been up for a little bit meditating and all those things, but I'm just now getting out of bed. It's about like 7:30 or something like that. I'm about to get up and go for a quick bike ride to one of my nature spots, and I'm going to meditate some more out there. I'm actually enjoying the process of doing this because it's been helping me feel more content with my life and just overall in a higher vibration. Always thinking about the future made me kind of like discontented with what my life was like right now. And I feel like now that I am focusing on not thinking, I'm more aware of the present moment and more grateful. It's been causing me to have less negative thoughts. I've just used to have a lot of negative thoughts about people, situations that made me uncomfortable, and I would do my best to not have those negative thoughts. I would do my best to be compassionate. I've gotten better in general outside of this challenge, but this challenge is also making it pretty much impossible for me to have negative thoughts because as soon as I catch myself thinking, I stop myself, and my energy is lighter and more high vibrational. So I love that. A couple of updates on how my journey of not thinking has been going. From day one, I realized that the best way to prevent myself from thinking is working. Keeping yourself busy. We all know that because a lot of people stop themselves from thinking or facing their issues by working. But for me, it's in a healthy way. For me, that looks like completing my priorities and my tasks for the day, doing everything that I need to do for myself, back to back, right after the other. While I'm doing certain tasks, I'm like locked into what I'm doing. So it's like I can't really think much anyway. And then when I'm doing things like meditating or doing yoga or working out, whenever I start thinking, I remind myself to come back to the moment because thinking isn't necessary right now. Not thinking feels more normal to me now. It like feels more integrated into my life now. Most of the time, I'm quickly catching myself when I start thinking, but I realize that I'm actually thinking more today, starting today. Like, I feel like the thoughts that I have been repressing or the thoughts that I haven't been paying attention to is coming up more and trying to get my attention more. And I have to keep reminding myself to stop thinking more often. Like the first day, it was real easy. Like once I told myself to stop thinking, it was real easy for me to keep myself in that state for longer. But now my thoughts are coming up more and I have to keep reminding myself, okay, don't think, don't think, don't think. This is really helping me focus on myself, and I love that for me. Also, I've stop myself from indulging in activities that cause me to think, whether that be looking at people's social media. I've even stopped watching content as much. I've just been real to myself lately, which has been helping me not think. How I'm being perceived is one of the things I think about a lot as well. So move how I move, but also I'm reserving myself a little bit more. I'm actually really liking this experiment. It has definitely showed me that overthinking and my idleness definitely has impacted my life in a negative way. Day 3 of this challenge was all about prioritizing my thinking time. So I wanted to make sure I gave myself time to think about my emotions, process my emotions, think about my day, think about what I've learned, and write it down. Thinking about my ideas, writing all those things down, giving myself specific time to think about specific things. This made sure that I gave myself ample time to process different areas of my life so it wouldn't be coming up throughout the day. I really enjoyed doing my self-care each day so far because it has been a time for me to practice being present. I would practice just letting go of my thoughts and really indulging in the moment, seeing how everything felt, how my skin felt, how my hair felt, just being really present with all the sensations. This feels romantic. It just felt like the perfect moment to practice awareness and to show myself love. It felt so intentional, and my self-care moments were my favorite throughout this challenge. Also, my nightly self-care routines I realized were mandatory. Doing my whole night routine was mandatory because at nighttime I needed to be able to fall asleep easily, because if I didn't, my thoughts would be running and running. That's what happened to me on the first 2 nights. So in this clip, I set a timer to clean up and reset my space before finishing up my night routine so I could go to sleep peacefully and wake up well rested. I also started to incorporate a meditation at nighttime to help me ease into sleep better.
Take a deep breath in. Your own consciousness.
Good morning, guys. I'm just outside soaking up some rays. It has been getting increasingly harder to stop myself from thinking. Like this morning, I was meditating. After I did my visualization meditation, I was just meditating normally with some sound bowls. And I just kept thinking about stuff. But, every time I would remember that I shouldn't be thinking or I don't want to think, I would stop myself. My goal right now is to just continue to stop myself. I give myself the time to visualize in the morning and at nighttime. And other than that, I realize a lot of my other thoughts are so irrelevant, they don't even matter. At first, I was thinking that maybe it's not the best idea to stop my thoughts, because what if I am suppressing emotions, or what if I stop myself from having ideas, etc., etc. But I realized that a lot of my thoughts are irrelevant. Like, they're just random thoughts about random things or negativity. It's okay for me to just let them go. And the times when I have ideas, I just take note of it. I still stop myself from thinking, but I take note of what I just thought. Other than that, I've been realizing that my thoughts are things that don't matter. So I'm just like, yeah, there's no reason for me to be thinking this right now. Like, my thoughts really don't be making any sense. Especially when I was meditating this morning, just so many things were coming in, and I'm just like, why? Like, what did I even think just now? I think a part of me was still kind of sleeping while I was meditating. So it was like, And I noticed that when it's time for me to go to bed and when I'm waking up, I think random thoughts, kind of like I'm dreaming, but I'm awake. The meditation, visualization definitely helped me focus on visualizing what I desire, giving myself the opportunity to do that. It helped me stay focused on the meditation and on the visualization and not get lost in my other thoughts. I'll give more guided meditations a try. I might do those in the mornings, and then throughout the day I'll do my other meditations, my silent meditations. My hair looks crazy, but just listen, guys, listen. Nothing bothers me or no animals come out, but I'm gonna just sit here and meditate for a little bit and just listen. And the wind feels beautiful on my skin. I love the way the wind is feeling on my skin and just like hearing it and the sounds and the view. It's just beautiful. So I'm gonna just sit here for a little bit and then I'm gonna go work out. All right, guys, it is the end of the challenge. If you made it this far, thank you so much for sticking with me and watching as I challenge myself to better myself. End of challenge results is, it's amazing, honestly, truly. The one thing that was standing in my way was actually my thoughts. I'm sure there's gonna be some more things that I discover, but my thoughts were a big one. Being so enamored with the future and not being in the present, not appreciating the present was definitely holding me back as far as being appreciative and grateful. Also, as far as my time and being productive, I'm still going to continue everything that I was doing because it definitely is helpful, and I don't really need to think. Like I mentioned, my thoughts were all random and they didn't really matter, or they weren't healthy for me. So not allowing myself to think the same thoughts is helping me reprogram my mind and reprogram my energy. And I really did enjoy this challenge. I definitely think that if you have depression or if you are struggling with getting your life together, definitely give yourself the moment to just go instead of think. Write down what you need to do and do it without thinking, without allowing yourself to ruminate on the future or the past, and just allow yourself to be in the moment. I'm going to look up some meditative practices, some practices to help me be in the present moment, just to have things that I can do daily that will help me strengthen this muscle. I say muscle, but just to help me get better at it. The one thing that I do have to do if I'm going to continue this is sexual transmutation. And I have this book. It's basically a practice of taking your sexual energy and cycling it through your body. You're taking your sexual energy and just replenishing your body. My sexual thoughts were just so strong and they were just like coming at me heavy. So I know that if I'm going to continue this, I definitely have to have a way to transmute my sexual energy. And I'm gonna look more into that. I know that I can do it through creative outlets and also through sexual transmutation. That's basically when you're meditating and you're pulling the sexual energy up from your sexual organs up through your spine, your head and down the front of your body to your navel or your heart. So definitely going to be doing that in the future. But this challenge, definitely just in the 5 days that I was doing it, right now it's been 6. It's gotten harder, but I think the more that I practice it, the more that I'm aware to stop being so much in my head. And I think that is a beautiful thing. I definitely want to continue that because I wanted to see if my thoughts were really as much of a problem as I thought they were. And I really didn't need a challenge to tell me that. I already knew, but I did it. I'm here, I'm better, and I will be better moving forward. A lot of things has happened within 5 days. I'm almost done with my ebook. I'm more consistent on YouTube. I'm getting more higher percentages on my habit tracker. If you don't know what a habit tracker is, I talk about it in some of my other videos. I've been scoring higher on my habit tracker because I haven't been giving myself idle time. So I've been doing more of my productive, healthy habits back to back, so I wouldn't think. So I'm just going to continue that. I'm going to continue to allow myself to blossom into the best version of myself, and that includes me getting out of my mind and getting into the world, into reality, and appreciating it instead of wanting to escape it. So that is all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, comment a number 5. Comment a number 5.